My name is Pat McGlone, and I'm the president of the Council for Court Excellence. I've been president since June of 2019. I first became involved in CC in roughly 2007, and in 2009 I joined the executive committee. In 2010, I began serving as vice president, working with then President Earl Silbert. And certainly one of the best advantages of my involvement in CCE was the opportunity to work with a legendary lawyer like Earl. I stepped away from CCE for a few years in 2016, but returned as president in 2019. I'm going to reminisce a moment about the Long Range Planning Committee that I had the pleasure of co-chairing in 2010. We were charged with coming up with the long-range plan, or what would we call today a strategic plan for CCE. And I co-chaired that committee with Dwight Murray, one of the longest-serving and most committed of our executive committee members, and excellent trial lawyer. We convened on the long-range planning committee stakeholders from around the community, and those stakeholders included lawyers, members of the judiciary, business people, civic members, concerned citizens, and some retirees, all of whom shared some interest in how our justice system was working and whether it was serving the needs of the residents of the District of Columbia, both on civil and criminal matters. And they also shared a concern about whether CCE was accomplishing and could sustain itself as an organization for the years to come. One of the highlights of serving on the Long Range Planning Committee was a public forum that we held as we were preparing our final suggestions for the Long Range Plan. And that public forum was attended by somewhere around 80 or 100 people. And those folks came from really all walks of life. There were academics and lawyers, both prosecutors and defense counsel. There were non-lawyers, there were business people, returning citizens, former litigants, former jurors, and court staff, representatives from agencies that work in the justice system. And we had spirited, lively, all-encompassing conversations about CCE's priorities. But those conversations were always respectful. And at the end of the work of the Long Range Planning Committee, the committee was able to come up with a consensus set of recommendations for CCE's work in the future, both its programmatic work and also how it could maintain continuity and financial strength as an organization. And that long-range plan or strategic plan, as often goes with those documents, didn't achieve all of its objectives, and CCE had to respond to events as they arose, but it was a very reliable roadmap for the years that it was in place, 2011 to 2017. But the hallmarks of that experience really are attributes of CCE to this day. That is to say, convening stakeholders from across a wide spectrum of our community and our community's interests, being able to engage them in a respectful, even if passionate dialogue, and work towards some consensus on policy recommendations and approaches to improving our justice system. And also having in mind how to ensure that CCE as an organization can last for another 40 years and continue to doing its good work. Another hallmark is certainly the friendships that I was able to build working with the people involved on the Long Range Planning Committee, and the collegiality that I had with Dwight Murray, my co-chair, with Earl Silbert, and with all of the leadership of CCE, a collegiality that remains to this day.